Love and light, love and light, love and light, man. How everybody doing today? Y'all already know me. I'm living my life like it's golden, man. Just wanted to tap in, say what's up as usual, you know what I'm saying? See how things is going and all of the above. Man, hey, look, right? I just want to tell y'all something that I found to be real funny. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, as usual, I'm out living my life like it's golden, minding my own business in my own little world and all of the above. Decided to, spin the block, pull up to the little drive-through, get me something to eat, you know what I'm saying? Try and nourish my soul, you know what I'm saying? Pull up to the drive-through in the attempts to get my food and all of the above. The female at the window, you know what I'm saying? She had a little attitude for some reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know why, but she decided she wanted to take her little anger and aggression out on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that person, you know what I'm saying, to aim your ignorance at for some reason and all of the above. But, I mean, I understood it for what it was, in all honesty, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of silent battle she may be facing behind the scenes or any of the above, so... I let her get that one off and all of the above. I got my little food, you know what I'm saying? And I pulled off and, spun around a little building one time for the one time. I had me a little petty moment, you know what I'm saying? And she made eye contact with me as I was pulling past and, I made a little face like, you know what I'm saying? Just to show her and let her know, like, hey, whatever attitude, you got, man, it don't faze me. I ain't finna let you, disrupt my whole day, mess up my day, disrupt my peace, or none of the above. In all honesty, like, it don't matter what you got going on. You're not gonna, project how you feeling about yourself or what's going on within your life at this moment in time onto me and the attempts to try and, disrupt my peace and make me feel some type of way to where my entire day is thrown off in no way, shape, or form, because I'm in control of me, my actions, my emotions, my reactions, my entire world, in all honesty. And I say this because simply for the fact of the matter is back in the day, man, I would have gave her exactly what it was that she wanted. Oh, you want to throw that my way? Hey, I'm going to dish it right back to you, you know what I'm saying? We can sit here and argue. We can go back and forth, you know what I'm saying? I'll cause a whole scene out here if need be, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't even do that, because I understood it ain't nothing but the devil attempting to try my patience to see if he could get a reaction out of me to get me to act out of character, you know what I'm saying? So I just let it be, you know what I'm saying, and I pulled off or whatever the case. And like I said, back in the day, I would have acted some type of way. Hell, I even would have got back in traffic, you know what I'm saying, sped off, to the point to where the laws probably would have got behind me, you know what I'm saying, and one or two things would have either happened, one, hey, I'd have took off. Hey, you're going to have to come catch me, you know what I'm saying? Now I got a whole bunch of other shit on my hands. Or, you know what I'm saying, they get behind me and now I'm, tensing up, being all worried, like, I got something in the car or trying to look safe and all of the above, woo, woo, woo. Man, it's crazy because, even after the fact I pulled off, I hopped back in traffic. I'm so baffled, you know what I'm saying, and so tickled pink off of, this whole little ordeal, in all honesty. I'm laughing my ass off. I done pulled up at a stoplight. I ain't even pay attention to the fact that a whole sheriff is behind me, you know what I'm saying? But by the time I realized that, like I said, hey, nowadays when the police get behind me, bro, I don't do no flinching. I don't do no, you know what I'm saying, tensing up. I ain't scared or none of the above. You can get behind me, run my plates, do whatever it is you got to do. You can follow me for a whole mile for all I give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I truly do not care because I have nothing to be afraid of in no way, shape, or form. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I ain't got nothing illegal in this car. You know what I'm saying? I got my license to carry and conceal if I got my little joint with me. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I have no need to tense up, get scared, you know what I'm saying, act safe or none of the above. Hell, if I'm up in this mug jamming, rocking out to the music, guess what? I'm going to keep on jamming and vibing out to whatever it is I'm jamming to and all of the above, man. But, you know, I just laugh and I think it's funny because the fact of the matter is, it's like, man, what trips me out the most is the fact of the matter is, you know, I don't understand why this lady had an attitude, why she was mad, why she chose to take it out on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, you know, make you choose this line of work to go into. I didn't force you out of bed this morning and make you go to work to, you know, fulfill your day of service to the community in no way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? So for you to get mad and take your anger out on me, like, I personally pissed in your Cheerios this morning, is completely beyond me, in all honesty, because I've done none of the above in no way, shape, or form. But I just thought it was funny and shit, you know, in all honesty. But, you know, what baffles me even most about the whole ordeal is the fact that, you know, I'm black and she was black. And something that I truly find, you know, amazing is the fact that, especially, I mean, it doesn't even matter, you know, it was like this before I even moved to where I'm at now, but it doesn't really matter where you are throughout this world. It seems as if, you know, a lot of black people tend to be rude to one another for no apparent reason, you know. I mean, like, we already are, you know, at war with one another, you know, being different races and different genders and, you know, having different cultural backgrounds and, you know, different religions and all of the above. And it just amazes me at the fact that, you know, we tend to go against one another for no specific reason whatsoever when another individual has done nothing to you in no way, shape, or form. It truly does baffle me. But in all honesty, I truly just sit back and I laugh at it because, you know, I understand it for what it is. And I'm not finna let no outside influences, you know, anything beyond me, my internal. I'm not gonna let nothing externally affect my external as well as my internal in no way, shape, or form. So it don't matter what anybody has going on, whether you white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, you know, whether you man or woman, whether you Christian, you know, Islamic, you know, Buddhist, whatever. But look, I do not care. You know what I'm saying? I will not let you disrupt my peace, get me to act out of character in no way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I stand for and I know what I represent. And I'm not finna let nobody bring that out of me, especially, you know what I'm saying, when nobody has control over me and the man that I am. Because I am nobody's puppet in no way, shape, or form. Nobody has control over me except for that man upstairs. That is the only person or being that I would ever conform for. So with that being said, man, hey, look, sometimes you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, laugh shit off and shake it off, you know what I'm saying, and keep it moving. Chuck it up, turn the other cheek, and, you know what I'm saying, hey, let these folks have it. Get on about their way and keep it moving, you know what I'm saying, because you truly don't know what a person is capable of, you know, what they may be going through, and, you know, last thing you really want to be is that nail, you know what I'm saying, that hammer, you know what I'm saying, strikes, and now all of a sudden they got a whole, you know, issue on their hands that could potentially turn out to be dangerous, traumatic, bad in all ways, shapes, and forms. Simply because, you know, somebody else got something going on that you don't know nothing about, but you just happen to be the, you know, that last and final straw. Which is why I try and always extend the utmost respect to any and everyone in hopes of getting that in return, because, you know, I know the type of individual that I used to be, man. And, you know, typically it's usually the people who are, you know, the most humble and gentle that when pushed to that point, they raise the most hell. Which is why I am the way that I am, because I've been through so much in my life, and, you know, I know what I could potentially do, but that's not the individual that I am. So I choose not to bring that version of myself out in no way, shape, or form, because that's not who I am, nor that's not who I want to be, nor presented as, nor viewed as. So, man, just be a little bit mindful whenever you're dealing with these folks out in the streets, and keep it moving if you can, man. If the situation, you know what I'm saying, warrants for you to have to stand your ground and, go back and forth, do whatever you got to do, hey, do what you got to do. But if you could just, avoid it at all costs and keep it moving, man, that's the best advice I can give you. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. 5 minutes of your life can alter the rest of your life, simply by attempting to try and show that you real, or you a tough guy, or you about that life. When in all actuality, that situation, that moment in time, it truly ain't as important as you being locked up for the rest of your life, or even losing your life. So, pause, think about it, and then react and go about handling the situation in the best way, shape, or form possible. That's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say. Like I said, I hope y'all having a blessed day. I hope y'all stay positive, nothing but love and light. Y'all already know who I am, man. The one and only Torn Moore. And I am divinely one of a kind. Y'all stay blessed.